This is Business Rockstars from the NASDAQ market site in Times Square. I'm Jeannie Yerman, and our guest today is Lindsey Boyd. She is the co-founder of the Laundress. Great to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
So the Laundress, what is your business about? I think we have a sense of it, but tell us.
So the Laundress is an eco-friendly collection of detergents, fabric care, home cleaning products. So think about your beloved cashmere sweater. We have something to care for that without dry cleaning. Your favorite white t-shirt, how to keep it nice and bright and white as if, when you first bought it.
And this kind of grew out of what I understand was essentially, as it's described, a crusade to get away from dry cleaning. And I have to say, I'm a huge fan of that concept. And when you talk about like nice clothes getting ruined or the costs, I remember a Burberry coat that I loved, a trench coat that got destroyed by a dry cleaner. So tell me about this crusade.
Yeah, it doesn't feel very good if someone else destroys it, for sure. At the time, the other co-founder and I, we were in fashion. So had a lot of things that in our wardrobe, from cashmere to things that had to be dry cleaned. We were spending a ton of money on the dry cleaner, only to have the items come back in a worse condition than when we brought it there. So set-in odors, really harsh chemicals, all of these things that we knew from our textile background at Cornell University that you, in fact, don't have to dry clean 90% of your wardrobe. It's actually better to wash them yourself. And so what we did was we set out to see, okay, what products are in the market that, that we can do this on our own. And there really wasn't anything at the time. 15 years ago when we started, there was not a solution to care for cashmere, to care for delicates. Everything was treated like one size fits all.
How did you go about figuring out that these things could be washed with natural products? Did you go to a scientist, or was it just research, or what was it?
So we went back to Cornell and worked with one of our professors there, and to educate ourselves on the science of detergency. So we did all of our own research at the library, not online at the time. There was less available then. And so we did our own research and we tested a ton of products all over the world. During our previous jobs, we were able to travel a lot. So we bought detergent from grocery stores in London to bodegas in Latin America, to like all over the world. And then we looked at the sampling. We said, okay, we like the way this smells. We don't like, why is this blue? Does it have to be blue? And which turns out it doesn't have to be blue. And when we did further research, the plant-based products are in fact the best surfactant and the best cleaning for clothing.
That's amazing. Okay, so and you had a job in the fashion industry, and your co-founder's name is
Gwen Whiting.
Thank you.
Yes.
So you and Gwen, you both were. She was at Ralph Lauren,
yes,
right?
Yes, and I was at Chanel.
Chanel.
Yes.
Yeah. So just real quickly, at the point you guys decided, okay, wait a second, we can make a business of this. How did you transition away from those full-time jobs into starting the business? And were you eating top ramen, or like what was going on?
Exactly. Well, I was joking before about how we would have to make a decision. Are we going to eat tonight, or are we going to pay American Express? Those were like those choices. So actually about 5 to 6 years into our professional career out of college, we both looked around. We had very coveted jobs in fashion, Ralph Lauren and Chanel, and very small divisions we were working in, and there wasn't a lot of movement. So we thought, okay, we're not getting our boss's job. We're sitting here idle. Let's do something on our own. We had always kind of dreamt of doing something at some point we were college friends. So after college, we spoke a lot about it, but we said, okay, we need real experience in the corporate world before we go out on our own, which actually is proven to be very true. It helped us along the way quite a bit. So at that point, we thought about, we had a makeup idea, we had a clothing idea, again, being from fashion. We thought, okay, let's design. That was when clothing was at its height, with all of these fabulous boutiques and contemporary clothing and different brands coming out. So we thought that would be a great idea. Not a great idea for us. And so what happened was there really was a void in the market and a need that we had personally. A lot of my clients that I was working with at Chanel were afraid to dry clean their sweater or dry clean the tweed jacket because it would come back without buttons, or it would come back in worse condition than when they brought it. So that kind of sparked an idea. Oh, well, why don't we create a product where we knew I was washing with baby shampoo at the time, all of my delicate items in my 5-floor walk-up, no washing machine, which is something to note. We designed this collection without our own washer and dryer. Gwen was bringing her laundry to her mom's in New Jersey. I was using my sink, tub, everything possible to wash in.
So let's talk about the marketing piece of this, because that's a huge part of this story, right? It's one thing to come up with a great product. It's another thing to get it out there and execute. So tell me about that.
Okay, so 15 years ago at the time, it was a different way of marketing. Social media didn't exist. So something key for us is that to build our community and really market is we are all about education and really positioned ourselves as experts in this sort of cleaning world. And so we launched something called Ask the Laundress. And this was a way where we could really hear from and still today, people, our original, our OG clients, they still write us and unsolicited testimonials about the products and how we helped them 10 years ago and changed their life and saving their heirloom piece, and stories go on and on. So now it's more automated, but in the beginning, that was a really critical way for us to educate people on why we're different, how we're unique to other products in the market. And really, it was more about the how and the why for us than just the product. You would walk down the grocery store aisles and see a ton of detergents, all very similar in look and feel and what they did. And we went completely against that. We started our collection to be all about fabric first. So when I say fabric first, that means really looking at the care label. Oh, like for instance, the sweater I'm wearing, it's cashmere, completely washable. The blouse you have on, it's silk or synthetic blends. Like those are all washable fabrics. And getting people to understand, that you don't have to run to the dry cleaner. So that was our mission from the beginning, and that was really our key marketing tool for us. The education piece.
Let's talk about funding. You guys bootstrapped yourselves, you did crowdfunding before there even was crowdfunding, but you turned away VC investors. So tell me about how you funded this company and what that evolution's been like.
So at the time, we had really good credit. We were taught at a young age to build good credit and invest in our 401ks at our previous jobs. So that allowed us to have some collateral and assets in order to get a loan. A lot of the loans that we went after, we were overqualified or underqualified, so it was a big struggle for us. We did eventually get a $100,000 loan from the SBA, from the Small Business Association, which allowed us to really launch and get our first production run. But really what we did, we got creative. I mean, we really wanted to have 50-50 ownership. Our long-term goal was always to partner and sell to a strategic, but in order to get there, we wanted to keep control ourselves. We felt like that was the best move and journey for us.
Was it ever tempting though, with a VC knocking on your door,
all the
wanting
time.
to hand you a check?
Yeah, we always said, wait, why aren't we doing this? So we always took the meetings. We learned every time, nope, still stay the course. And it ended up being that we were able to get where we needed to be without it. It was a lot harder. That was one of the biggest obstacles I'd say today, and I'm sure Gwen would agree, is financing. Because there's always, as you grow, it's great to grow, but then you need more money to continue growing and to be sustainable and to sustain the business and be scalable.
And especially even with a hard physical product, you still have to invest in tech, and that's very expensive. Yes. And the website. Let's fast forward to what happened in the past year, which was very exciting. You guys basically hit the pinnacle of success in many people's minds. You were acquired by Unilever. So how has that changed things for you? I introduced you as the co-founder.
Yes.
You were once upon a time the CEO.
Yes.
So how have things changed?
So things are great because things are a lot better we, as a business owner and as an entrepreneur, you end up doing everything, and your hands are in everything, and you don't necessarily get to do the things that you want to do because you're constantly executing or hiring new people or training. So for me, I'm able to pick and choose on the things that I love within the, over the last 15 years, and things that I can want to do and enjoy. And a lot of what I love interfacing with the consumers through videos, through panels. I love mentoring people. So a lot of what my role is now is that for the company as a founder.
Well, that's great. I mean, you certainly have earned that. Now,
Thank
before
you.
we sign off, would love to know your best piece of advice for any aspiring entrepreneurs out there.
I think to stick with your gut and continue. If you believe in something that you want to do it, just stick with it and don't let anybody else tell you or question your idea. It's always good to take advice, but you don't have to always listen.
Believe in yourself, right?
Yes, believe in yourself, exactly.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lindsey.
Thank
Pleasure
you.
talking with you.
Thank you for having me.
I've been speaking with Lindsey Boyd. She is the co-founder of the Laundress from the NASDAQ market site in Times Square. This is Business Rockstars.